For this time, we're going to start with the U.S. market, where U.S. stocks ended with steep losses on Monday, leaving the NASDAQ and S&P 500 down at least 3% each as the market extended last week's sell-off amid U.S. recession worries and as Apple shares fell sharply on news that a big investor had cut its stake. All three major indexes registered their biggest three-day percentage decline since June 2022, and the NASDAQ and S&P 500 closed at their lowest level since early May. The recession's fears shook global markets and drove investors out of risky assets following weak economic data last week, including Friday's soft U.S. payrolls report. Investors worry that the economy is losing steam more rapidly than anticipated and that the Federal Reserve by keeping interest rates steady at its last policy meeting. Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee downplayed recession fears but said Fed officials need to be cognizant of changes in the environment to avoid being too restrictive with interest rates. Meanwhile, portfolio manager and head of Empiric LT equity team at Allspring in Washington said Monday's performance was due to a sell-off as an extension of the anxiety that was felt last week. He added it started off with the jobs data last week, and it clearly led to the belief that the Fed needs to start being more proactive around where those unemployment numbers are going. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 1,033.99 points or 2.6%. The S&P 500 lost 160.23 points or 3.00%, and the NASDAQ Composite dropped 576.08 points or 3.43%. Now let's take a look at the latest S&P 500 overview. As of this morning, we will start off with the major or the biggest technology sector within the US market. From the finviz.com, usually we can see a few sectors here will show according which sector, from the technological sector, communication sector, oil and gas, and even the entertainment and in semiconductor sector, which has become one of the biggest emerging industry within the economy right now. And I'm going to start with one of the Apple updates. We can see as of this morning, if we zoom out to see how is the outlook for US market as of this morning, around 9:06 a.m. Apple, we can see one of other industry also is going down. We can see is down by 4.82%, almost achieving or reaching 5%. And for the Apple update is, and the other heavyweight companies sold off on Monday as US recession fears and Berkshire Hathaway sale of half of its stake in the iPhone maker further deflated a months-long rally fueled by optimism about AI. And Apple, Tesla, Alphabet and Amazon each dropped more than 4%, while Nvidia tumbled 7% and Microsoft and Meta platform fell 3% as worries about a potential US recession compounded investors' concerns about massive spending to build AI infrastructure. These 7 corporations were on track to lose about $800 billion in stock market value for the session, according to LSEG data. And this is one of the updates about Apple. And we're going to move on to the Microsoft updates. The Microsoft is down by 3.27%, following by Adobe is also red color, is down by 3.20%. And next, we're going to see for Nvidia. Nvidia, one of the biggest one of the biggest companies within the semiconductors, is also down more than 6%, which is negative 6.36%. And for Nvidia, update is working on a version of its new flagship AI chips for the China market that will be compatible with current US export controls. For sources familiar with the matter said, and the AI chip giant in March unveiled its Blackwell chip series, which is due to be mass-produced later in the year. The new processors combine 2 squares of silicon, the size of the company's previous offering. Within the series, the P200 is 30 times speedier than its predecessor at some tasks like serving up answers from chat box. And that is the update about Nvidia. And next, for the internet, we have Google. Google is also down by 4.61%. A US judge ruled on Monday that Google violated antitrust law, spending billions of dollars to create an illegal monopoly and become the world's default search engine. The first big win for federal authorities taking on big tech's market dominance. The ruling paves the way for a second trial to determine potential fixes, possibly including a breakup of Google parent Alphabet, which would change the landscape of the online advertising world that Google has dominated for years. And that is for the update for Google. And for Meta is also following Google performance this morning is down by 2.54%. And next we're going to move on under the internet retail. The Amazon is also down by 4.10%. This is the performance for Amazon as of this morning. And the update for Amazon is Walmart Bag, Phone, PE, Google Pay and Amazon Pay are among 5 payments firms seeking to join the Indian Central Bank's digital currency pilot by offering transactions via the e-rupee. 3 sources directly involved in the discussion said Indian fintech firms Cred and MobiWik are the other 2 that have applied to join the pilot, the sources added. The Reserve Bank of India started a pilot of the e-rupee, a digital alternative to the physical currency, in December 2022. After an initial surge, e-rupee transactions have declined, reflected at the struggle central banks globally have faced in the popularizing digital currency. And next update we have lastly for Tesla. For Tesla, updates recent news is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said on Monday it was seeking more information about an accident involving Tesla Cybertruck from the electric vehicle maker. And we can see for update for Tesla as of this morning is down by 4.23%. And we can recap, we can see for US market as of this morning, 6 August, are having the rate of waves. And to discuss further online to understand about the US market for this week and how to understand within S&P 500,